Hi, I'm Tina Bryson, and you're listening to The Mountain Spirit, a podcast of Christian Appalachian Project, or CAP for short. When bad things happen to good people, it's hard sometimes to understand the why. And when it happens around the holidays, it just makes it that much harder. As many of us are already starting to make plans for Thanksgiving and Christmas, imagine if your home caught fire right before Christmas celebrations. How would you be able to handle it? A few years ago, CAP had the opportunity to come alongside the Burden family after suffering such a loss right before Christmas. Generous donors and volunteers made this work possible, along with the countless hours the family put in to get back into their home.
Well, I was actually upstairs cleaning and came downstairs, made a bowl of oatmeal. It was a 70-degree day in November, and went out on the porch to eat my oatmeal and took a couple bites, and all the alarms went off in the house. We rushed in, me and my husband, and he went upstairs. I went in the dining room because they were going off in both directions. He put off about 6 or 7 fire extinguishers in the room, but it was behind a double wall. So even with the fire extinguishers, he couldn't get to where he needed to be. He boarded up the one door, and then he climbed up on the roof and shut the window from the outside because you couldn't get through the room because of the smoke. I called the fire department. They were out here in about 20 some minutes. They put off about 3 tankers of water throughout the whole house. So not only did the fire do destruction, but the water in all the rooms ruined all the drywall, insulation, everything was soaked from one end of the house to the other. I have worked with CAP off and on. We did the tornado cleanup back in 2012. We had flood, and I worked with the cleanup and worked the command center in Paintsville during the floods a few years back. But to get in touch with them about the fire, I'd actually called the telephone company to turn off my telephone and internet, and they asked if they could do an email out to all of their employees. Well, one of their employees called me back and said, "My husband works for CAP. Here's a number. Try calling and see what you can get." And when I called and Jill Stafford answered the phone, I was like, "What's your name again?" She said, "Jill." And I was like, "You came out to the church and did a preparedness fair for me, because I am the emergency preparedness specialist for our church. It covers 5 counties. And when the tornadoes came through, we had touchdown in all 5 of our counties. So we had massive connections with working through with CAP, and always liked to volunteer with CAP because they didn't discriminate against what religion you were. I think Robert came in, did the initial inspection sometime in January, started a little bit of the wiring towards end of February, beginning of March. Then we had Workfest in March for a couple weeks, and then they went back to doing wiring, and then we started having crews, and then we started with, well, me and my family, we did all the insulation ourselves. CAP helped with the purchase of some of it, but we spray foamed the steel frame of the building, and then we bought the exterior insulation, and CAP did the interior. And then drywall and sanding and mudding. And our favorite line for mudding or for sanding is, there's a song by Elton John, "I'm Still Standing." We changed it to "I'm Still Sanding," and if you look around, we're still sanding.
In just 3 states alone, Kentucky, West Virginia, and Tennessee, there are nearly 25,000 children in foster care. When we met them, the Burdens had already welcomed more than 22 foster boys into their home since 2017. And at the time of the fire, they were providing a home to 5 other foster children. They banded together as a family to face the challenges the Christmas fire brought to their doorstep, and they found a way to identify resources to get back on their feet and make their home safe, warm, and dry. But greater than that, Shelia Burden maintained her optimism to see a blessing where others may have only seen tragedy.
Who all lives in this home? Okay, we'll start with the oldest, is Grandpa. He's 81 now. Me and my husband, and we have 5 foster children, all teenage boys, and then my son, biological son, and his fiance.
So there is a total of 10 of us in this home. This was originally my grandparents' property. And it wasn't until probably within the last few years that I really thought about how beautiful it was. God put all this stuff on the earth, and, we try to appreciate what he does give us. We just didn't have the resources on hand to do all of it all at once. It would have been, a little bit here and a little bit there, or whatever we could get done as we went along. So we're very thankful that we've got this far, and we pray that we can finish it and get moved back in soon. Our original steps were just boards going up. They didn't have a kick plate. They didn't have a backsplash. So now we're moved up in the world. I look at it as a blessing from God, not only with the rebuild, but knowing that my home's going to be safer than it was before. And no matter what, keep a smile on your face. I had numerous volunteers that said they didn't know how I kept smiling. And the glory is God's, Without him, we wouldn't be here, for one. And I think of it as, he was protecting my family. No one was injured. We were all outside when it happened, and we survived.
We invite you to subscribe to our show and hope the stories you hear will inspire you as much as they have blessed us. You can find The Mountain Spirit wherever you get your favorite podcasts. To learn more about the Burden family story following the fire, read Out of the Ashes in our Fall-Winter 2022 edition of CAPS Magazine, also called The Mountain Spirit. You can find that edition and others on issuu.com/The Mountain Spirit. We're just about 2 weeks out from our official launch on November 7th. We hope you'll be a part of this exciting new initiative of Christian Appalachian Project. Watch out for more teasers and giveaways as our launch date gets closer. We can't wait to share the episodes with you from season 1. Stay tuned.